Welcome to Business Leader Breakthroughs, where we help unlock the potential in you, your teams, and your business. I'm your host, Ryan Castle, along with Dr. Mike Ashby. We'll share insights, experiences, and stories on achieving breakthrough success in business and life. In addition to a podcast, The Breakthrough is a coaching and advisory business that provides programs for business leaders, owners, and managers to develop your skills and capabilities to boost your business and enjoy a better life. To learn more, click the link in the episode show notes or go to thebreakthrough.co. Now let the breakthroughs begin. Team, we would like to discuss something around principles today and what I refer to as the power of principles. And it was actually some really great thinking that Mike brought to our own business. We're a product company. Yep. So we develop product, and that means that tends to be the thing that we default to most often. We're very comfortable in product development. We have good expertise. We have good knowledge. So
we could whip up a product right now, couldn't we?
In fact, it terrifies our team because we have so many product ideas. And we think, and we are very fast at product development and testing and all those good things. The downside of this is that because it's what we're good at, we can tend to default to that.
We do default to it. Yep.
Rather than getting a really good focus on what is going to be most important to us.
Correct.
So yes, of course.
So we do what's easy rather than what's best. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And look, of course we need good product. That's part of who we are. But good product is not very valuable if no one knows about it.
How you get to market, as we keep telling the clients that we've worked with for so long, is how do you take this to market? Because if you've got a great product and the market doesn't know, there's no point.
There is no point. And the world is littered with great products that no one knows about. And
so is our server.
Yes, this is true. And your brain, I think, as well. Yeah, your brain. So one of the things we've consciously tried to get better at is our marketing. And we have tried 1,000,001 marketing initiatives.
Yeah.
And
we've been very innovative.
Yeah, and look, that's not a bad thing. I think that's part of marketing. You actually have to go and try things and see what works and what doesn't. But the great thing that Mike brought to our marketing discipline was a focus around what marketing means to us and what are our key principles.
Yep.
So we actually set about discovering and documenting 7 or 8 really key principles for us in our marketing. And Mike operates in our marketing team at a strategic level, and then myself and Milena and a couple of...
It's very polite, more like a seagull.
Yeah, strategic meaning, flies in, drops a couple of new ideas and runs out of the room again. And Milena and myself particularly, and some other members of our team, then go about
do the work.
Doing
the actual work.
Yeah. That was kind.
Yeah.
We start every marketing meeting that we have as a marketing team by reviewing our marketing principles. And I think the value for us is it keeps us very centered on what we're trying to achieve here. So I thought it might be useful for us to share these marketing principles with the audience, give you a bit of insight. And the way we use them, at the start of every meeting, we go, right, how have we lived these principles this week? What have we done? I think it works really well for team cohesion, and it also works really well for keeping us aligned with what we're trying to do. So
and that focus stuff, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can I just make a point about principles? One of the challenges for all of us in business at any level is to be able to step back up to what's really going on. I read this lovely book called the Tao of Leadership, which was about Confucianism and leadership. And the thing I remember from that is the good leader knows what is really going on. And I try and get myself to do it, I try and get us to do it, and I try and get it in the courses to do this, which is below the level of activity, there's a pattern. What is the pattern? And above that pattern, there are some principles. And the principles that we're going to talk about are the principles that we use in marketing. It's kind of like a sort of a frame of reference.
Absolutely.
And we compare what we're doing to this frame of reference, and we get a fix on it then. Because if we don't have that, we don't have any kind of comparators or relativities, or it's just a thing. If we don't have those principles, we can just go down a track without a fence or a pathway or a destination that we're trying to get to, which means a lot of wasted effort. When you've got principles, they give you the kind of posts down the path. So that's the kind of background. That's why they're important to us.
And I think often someone in the organisation knows those principles and they might operate from them almost out of habit because they know them. The challenge and the opportunity is when you articulate those principles and then share them with the organisation, because now everyone's following those same posts. down the road. And I think that's what we've found.
Yep, for sure.
So look, our very first principle is we want to be as good at marketing as we are at product, and that's really just continuously slapping us back into the zone of going, yes, of course we could stick with the easy stuff and go and build some more product. Actually, we just need to be really good at the marketing piece as well.
I think the other point about that is it sets a standard. We are good at product, and when we're doing our marketing, our internal standards has got to be, we're going to get as good at this as we are at product. And so that creates the ultimate objective as well.
One of our goodies is no one-shot wonders.
Yep.
And for those of you that are marketers out there, you'll know what I'm talking about. That's where you have this great idea for a campaign, you send out that one tactical item in the campaign and then do nothing else.
Yeah.
How's that work for us when we've tried one-shot wonders?
Look, it's been really good once. Yeah, and we know that in marketing, as with most everything else, it's the next one and the next one and the next one.
So look, on the back of that one is then one of our other principles is to plan every campaign. So rather than let's just have a random idea, let's flick it out there, actually let's plan it right from the beginning through the execution, and it might have multiple stages and steps of execution, but we've pre-thought about what they are and how we're going to make that happen. We talk about our active manager or active learning system. It's become a really important part of what we're doing, which is leadership development for operational managers. And we talk about building our tribe around that. And our tribe is the participants, it's the leaders, it's other people in those organizations, it's our coaches, it's our facilitators, it's us. And not every marketing campaign can be or should be about getting the next dollar in the door or generating the next lead. So this is a good reference for us to go, actually some of the things we want to do, the sole purpose should be about building our tribe.
Which is building a community of a community of interest, they used to be called back in the early days. Sounding old now, but that's what they were called, a community of interest. So people who've got a stake in it, got a kind of an interest in it, part of it, they are part of something bigger. That's what we're trying to achieve there.
Another is, what is the problem or the result we're looking to solve or achieve here? And I think it's easy, particularly in marketing, probably in product development and all sorts of things, if you think more widely, is that it's really easy to get lost in something that you just can do rather than going, really, what's the true problem or the result we're solving here? So in this context where, we'd be talking about what is the experience of an operational manager and what are the challenges that they're facing in their day-to-day business, or what are the HR leaders who are responsible for helping with the learning and development of these people, what's the problems they're facing and results they're looking for. And if we use that as a centering point, then all the other effort we put into marketing has much more relevance. Another principle is we talk about building momentum through focus. So deciding what it is that needs to be done, and then let's not do anything else until that is nailed. And ticking off those small wins, staying focused on the thing at hand, that's what actually builds momentum.
Just keeping at it, straight down the track, not getting complicated, complexicated, distracted, all those other things, just staying with it.
Next up, probably one of our favourites, it gets mentioned, I think, on a daily basis at the breakthrough and probably multiple times per day, and that is get it done, then get it better. Get it done, then get it better. And we have, rightly so, people that hold themselves to a high account and have some very high standards. Sometimes that can tend into the perfectionism zone. So we're continually questioning ourselves, is it now good enough? Is it on brand? Is the quality appropriate for our brand and what we'd want to talk to our customers and partners about? Okay, if it is, let's ship it. Let's get it out the door, and then if we decide that it requires or it validates more effort going in, we'll do it. And particularly for one of our team members who attention to detail, fantastic. It's been so good for her to just continually reference this. Is it good now? Good enough? Have we got it done? Can we get it done?
She's really brought it.
It has, and it's changed.
The only exception to this is apostrophes. They have to be in the right place. That's not negotiable, is it? We understand that? We do, don't we?
Daily laugh in the breakthrough, Mike, is a very quality linguist. Is that what we call it?
Grammaticist. Technically correct.
Technically correct. I'm possibly a little more random or casual in my approach to grammar. I'm like, well, people will know what we mean. So it's fantastic to have Mike in our meetings correcting grammar as it goes. It's excellent. Authenticity is next up for us, and this is a really important principle and value for the breakthrough. And it's a good test for us when we're going, is that campaign we're putting out there, is it authentic?
Is it real?
So I think we have a style of marketing that is about being authentic and delivering value. We don't pursue some other tactics which might be very price driven or bonus driven or those kind of things that we also see in marketing. So a good test for us is going, are we being authentic?
Yeah, and that's one of those values that flows through from our kind of organisational piece, through our brand, through our product, through everything, is keeping it real.
So these principles, again, I just want to reiterate, principles like values, like vision statements, they're not too difficult to craft up front if you give them some time and energy. The challenge is always keeping them alive. Our marketing meeting, our team meets weekly. We start every single session with how have we lived our principles this week, and we go, oh, well, I did this and it was get it done, get it better, and we did this and it planned that campaign out, so we're ticking that one off, and just keeping that discussion going with the team throughout. I feel like the introduction of principles, which was absolutely Mike's insight that brought it to the table for us, I think it's definitely improved the maturity of our approach to marketing.
For sure.
Massively improved it, and it's improved our focus,
Yes.
and it's improved our execution.
Absolutely, on all three. And when we had that conversation, there was a huge amount of effort going on, but I could come in and see that it wasn't getting us as far as fast as we wanted. But now, and this is only a few months, but that practice of relating back to the principles, much more disciplined, we're getting much more stuff done, it's moving so much faster. And one of the things that we try to achieve and have to achieve as an organisation moving into this space is business speed. And that's what we're getting. So we had a lot of wheel spin and a lot of kind of, one-shot campaigns. We learned a lot, nothing wrong with it, but now we're applying it. Now we're getting this discipline based on these principles, and there's no question it's working a treat. Yeah.
It really is. Look, we'll put a list of these principles that we're applying to our marketing function in our show notes. My challenge to you would be next time your team gets together, have a discussion around what are the principles, what are our guiding lights here, how do we align, what do we want to think about, what are our posts that we want to drive between on our target to where we're going.
And my challenge is every week referencing those. Don't just put them on the wall, don't just write them up and get agreement going and then, hold hands, sing kumbaya. Actually bring it to the meeting. That's what makes it real, that's what makes it work.
So share it, come back to us in the comments, tell us some principles you've come up with. If you'd like some feedback from us on whether we think the principles you've come up with resonate or correct in the right zone, hit us up on the comments, we'd love to give you some feedback.
Did we have a principle in there about have apostrophes in the right place?
No.
I'd be interested in people's reactions to
would.
that.
You would.
I would. There's at least 3 other people in the world who are similarly obsessed, I think.
As long as you're happy, Mike, we're good. Thanks for joining us today, team. It's been a pleasure. Bye-bye.